It was Friday, December the 7th of 2007. I was on my way to work on a somewhat back road, and a young boy, he was driving a pickup truck, and he passed me on the left-hand side.
And sort of lost control, went over in the other lane, clipped a dump truck, which then lost control, flipped onto its side. Jane had pulled off on the right-hand side of the road trying to get out of the way of the whole thing, but the dump truck, when it flipped, basically fell onto the front of her car.
So I fractured multiple bones on my left side. I only had one extremity that was workable for a long period of time. The hardest part for me was not being able to do some of the basic things that I needed to do. My body wouldn't allow me to do that. And the last thing I needed to think about on top of that was dealing with the insurance companies.
The insurance company had contacted them. The insurance company had told them there was a certain amount of insurance. That was wrong, as it often was. There was a whole lot more insurance. And so, fortunately, instead of just trying to handle it on their own and thinking they could, they knew enough to know they needed some professional advice.
I was still in a rehab facility at that point in time. So my husband, really, I owe it all to Carl, my husband. He reached out to Alan and Alan.
Well, Carl had called and started to describe a little bit about what had happened, and it was pretty clear to me from the beginning they were in that overwhelmed stage, so I knew this was a situation I could take care of and help with.
The very first time I met Clayton Allen made me feel that I was the number one priority. Clayton was very interested in getting to know who I was first and foremost. He was in constant contact with us, so we felt that we were kept abreast the entire time. They made a very strong effort to make sure that we understood what the various steps were going to be throughout the entire process. I felt that I was his only client during that period of time, always.
I have to develop trust with them, and I do that by them seeing where I'm coming from, by me being available to them.
It was a true partnership from the very beginning, and that I really appreciated.
The day that we were closing and I was giving the check to Jane, obviously was a very important day. It was a day that was a long time in coming. We held out and got every dime of insurance coverage there was, which she certainly was entitled to with the seriousness of her injuries.
It was quite bittersweet for me. Bittersweet from the standpoint it was a relief to know that this part of this chapter, we could close the door, if you will. But as I said earlier, bittersweet in ending that communication with Clayton.
My dad used to say, every client deserves the same respect and attention, and that people may not know the quality of the legal services you're giving them, but they know how they're treated. To me, to be an Allen is to care about other people and to help them and to really use your best skills and abilities. So when somebody comes to me and they put it in my lap, I want to know I did the best job I could for them, and not just for certain clients, but for everybody who comes to me.
Alan and Alan are very personal. They are real, that people are speaking from their heart. And you're part of the family.